All right, this is business talk. So GoPro has pretty much lost 90% of their stock value, right? They were, I think, $2 billion or 11 billion. So they're 11 billion in 2015, 2016, and now they're worth about 200 million, which is still a lot of money, right? They are not where they were, right? And so people are saying, man, what is GoPro doing? Unfortunately, GoPro did not have the opportunity to develop themselves into something else. And so this is just something, I guess, I'm just an entrepreneur, just having my opinion. I have nowhere near the success of a GoPro type company, but hey, I think I'm pretty successful as a Lone Ranger entrepreneur here. So here's an idea for GoPro. And GoPro, I'll give you this idea, and I think it would relaunch your ability to be able to be relevant in this market. And so the problem with GoPro is that they have a niche market, and the niche market is action sports, right? You got surfing, kayaking, just different things that they put on a camera and they want to see that. And so in the beginning, it was awesome. iPhones wasn't out yet with their cameras, and so it was superior at the time. But then as we have all these phones coming out with great cameras, they can also film action stuff, keep it stabilized. They just have too much competition, and now other people have a GoPro type products too as well. It's just too much competition for them. So unfortunately, if you think about it, it went from 11 billion to now worth 200 million. That is a huge loss. I don't feel bad for the CEO because he's still banking, but that was definitely an evaluation of that much. And now where they are today, wow. So here's what I would do. Not that GoPro would ever watch this, and not that the CEO ever watched this, but just as the spirit of entrepreneur, what do you think they should do? What do you think GoPro should do to revamp their position in the market? Example, I remember Toys R Us shut down, right? And I remember Mike V said, hey, why don't Toys R Us, what they should have done before, now they're obviously they're Macy's now, they kind of got revived a little bit, but when they shut down, Mike V was right. He said they should have done like, the sponsored like Lego competitions, building Legos, and just have like toy competition with gaming and stuff like that to kind of still make them relevant instead of just being a store that sells toys, because they just got beat out by Amazon, they got beat out by Walmart, they got beat out by Target, they got beat out by all the box stores that sell toys, right? And so Toys R Us should try to reinvent themselves in doing that. So here's what I think GoPro should do, and I don't know, it's a wild idea, but let's just see. What if GoPro figured out a way to make their camera super, super tiny? I'm talking super, super tiny, right? And then sell it to the NFL and have the NFL buy their cameras and stick it on their helmets. Follow me on this. If they had the ability to stick a camera on a NFL helmet somewhere in the front or somewhere in the uniform, probably the helmet's gonna be best where it won't get hit, then they can gain GoPro sponsorship on the helmets. That's big, that's huge, number one. And two, it will help at an entertainment value to people who watch football. I used to watch a lot of football, not anymore. I stopped watching football in the past 10 plus years, right? So I don't watch anymore, but think about, in movies, they obviously do that, right? They have the ability to have a camera in the helmet as they're running through, and that experience is pretty cool. But imagine if we had NFL level video footage of these games, and imagine the entertainment value of running through the line, or a receiver looking back and then catching that ball. I'm not saying we have to watch the entire, but that just adds value to the entertainment with different views of the game, right? So I think it gives that dynamic. And then it would be cool that maybe as far as the effect to a point where it makes sense, and then you start selling it to the average person that has their kid playing high school football, and then make it legal and official for the high school and college level to where it's safe. And now you have footage of your kid running, or the college, it helps your tape, whatever. I don't know. I'm not saying it's a greatest idea, but that could be cool. And then you figure out a way to do that with other sports that have helmets, like hockey, baseball, when they wear a helmet, right? There's other ways. And then maybe you figure out a way where it goes on their uniform where it's not heavy or it's going to hurt their ability to play the sport. I think if you're known to be an action sport type of camera, and you're just stagnant at just those little box cameras and your market crash, imagine if you develop something like that. I think that can change and revolutionize yourself back to a over billions of dollars value than just staying at where you're at today, right? Because it's just a niche market, and that still will be a niche, but it's a bigger niche. And now you just involve the sports, and everybody's going to want that camera to include into their repertoire of having cool videos for their family to enjoy, and then to at the entertainment value when you're watching the game live, you can feed into that camera and see that. It's almost like, I want to say it was HBO that created that show, I forgot what it's called, where you can hear what the players are saying because these high powered microphones could actually hear the players, and you could obviously hyper zoom in. But think about the first person view, like all the shooter games, right? Think about all the shooter games. You know, I know there's GoPros already on the military, and there's certain military forces that put the GoPro on their helmet. I see it where you go to YouTube and you see these soldiers showing you what they're shooting at and showing you what they're running through. But only it's this huge camera that's huge, right? You're not gonna put that on a football helmet. So can you manufacture a small camera that does the same thing as a GoPro? I think that might be the next thing. And I know you got to deal with the shakiness to figure out how to do the stabilization of the camera. That's not my lane. I'm sure it could be done. You've done it already. I know the iPhone camera stabilizes the shot already, and all these other cameras, obviously the GoPro does it too. So that is my idea. What do you think? Waste of time, Daniel, but I think that would help them. I think that would be worth a lot of money to create another product that you start off with the collegiate and the NFL and the pro sports, and then you move your way over the counter, and then you got a huge audience for that. So what do you guys think? How do you think GoPro can get back to being over $1 billion net worth? Aloha.